Welcome to our Language Cert Young Learners ESOL exams. Today, we'll be sharing with you useful tips that should prove useful while you are preparing your learners for their FOX reading exam. First of all, a brief reminder of its key features and samples of the different parts of the reading exam. The reading exam consists of 4 tasks and comprises a total of 20 items. Candidates are awarded 1 mark per correct response. They are required to answer multiple choice questions, each providing 3 options, tick or cross questions, and gap filling questions. Part 1 requires candidates to show their knowledge of vocabulary by looking at 5 visuals and drawing a line to match the given words to the corresponding pictures. There are 2 extra distractors, so learners are provided with 7 words and only 5 visuals. There's always an example to guide candidates. In Part 2, candidates look at a picture and say whether they agree or disagree with 5 statements given. They are asked to tick the statements which are true or put a cross if the statements are false. There are 2 examples for the candidates here. Part 3 requires candidates to read a short text and fill in 5 gaps by choosing from 7 words in a list. 2 of the words are distractors and will not be used. An example is provided once again. In Part 4, candidates look at a picture and read 5 related questions. They are asked to produce 1-word responses, which may be a number or a color, and 2 examples are provided here to guide them. And now, a few tips for teachers. Before tackling Part 1, ensure learners know what is expected of them. Here, they simply need to draw lines from the pictures to the right word. Ask them to carefully look at the given names and try to guess the right answer, even if they don't know these names. Ensure they know the vocabulary related to what they are likely to come across. For example, objects, animals, body parts. Remind them that one picture acts as a distractor and will not be used. For Part 2, ask learners to look very carefully at the picture and statements provided so as not to risk giving a wrong answer. In case they change their mind, they should thoroughly rub out any previous wrong answer. Train them in responding to similar tasks. You can use posters, large pictures, magazines, etc., and write your statements on the board or on a task sheet handed out. When reaching Part 3, ask learners to first get the general idea of the text before they attempt filling in the gaps. Remind them to carefully read the options provided before they fill in any gap. Give them sufficient time. Also, clarify that 2 words act as distractors and will not be used. Remind them that they must copy the options they have selected correctly. Before answering the questions set in Part 4, ask learners to carefully look at the pictures provided. They might guide them as to the content of the short story or the answers to be given. Remind them they only need to write 1-word answers here. Tell them to carefully check their spelling once they have completed the task. And while practicing toward this kind of task, remember you can use posters, large pictures, magazines, etc., and create similar questions. And remind them that they only need to produce one-word answers. And now, a few more tips for teachers. Whenever required, introduce the activities before getting into them. This will help learners feel even more confident. Make sure they are aware of the different parts of the reading exam and what they will be requested to do. Train them in understanding and following instructions. Also, ensure that the expected question types have been sufficiently practiced in class. Foster a supportive atmosphere in class where they can feel comfortable, and encourage them to see mistakes as a natural part of learning the language. While preparing towards their exam, don't forget to praise them and encourage them. Lastly, do remember to provide feedback, that is, information, details about how they performed after their reading tasks. This will once more encourage them and can be used as a basis for their reading skills improvement. We hope that these tips will prove useful while you are training your learners. Don't forget to also refer to the support material we have created for you and for your learners. Thank you.